Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining. So this is day three of Oracle SQL training, and in this session we are going to learn about Oracle SQL DDL commands. So we are already aware about that what is DDL command and what all commands comes under this one. So even you can see on the screen only. So DDL having four commands that create, alter, truncate, and drop, and we all are already aware about that when we are saying that DDL, it's data definition language, as it's clear with its name only, that this data definition language, DDL command is going to work with the structure of database objects. And a structure, it means that it can be creation of table, it can be deletion of that table, or it can be something like changing the column name or adding columns, removing columns. It's mean that when we are using DDL commands, it's going to work with structures. So the first command is create command. So with the help of create table commands, we are going to create table in our database. So as this part we already covered last time, and we'll check today also. And when we are using this create command, so create command having this create table is a keyword, which is going to help us to define the table name. And this student underscore TDL is the table name. These values can be anything that I told you that keyword is something that we cannot change that the words and the meaning of that word, but yes, while providing the name, we can provide anything. So the same way, roll number, student name, DOB, all these are column name. So we can do any values here, we can give any names, but numbers, varchar two, dates, numbers, all these are keywords, right? Data type keywords. So we can change the value for that. So this is all about DDL. But remember, all DDL commands are auto commit and we cannot roll back. So when we are saying that auto commit, so suppose we created table, and if we want to do undo, we cannot do with this. So in upcoming days, we will get more or hands on this commits and rollback part. Let's move to the another operation that is alter table. That alter table is a second or another commands comes under DDL, and we are using alter commands to change the structure of table. So create command is going to use to create the structure of table, but here alter command is going to change the structure of table. For example, our table having only five columns and we want to add one more columns. Then we will use alter table commands with add operation, add keywords. This add keywords will help us to add new columns in our database table. So this is a student TBL. In this table, we want to add one more column which name as student underscore section, and this is the data type for that. So with the help of this script, this code, we can add one column in the table. So the same way, if we want to remove any specific column from table, we have the same command alter table. Instead of add, we have to go for drop. So with the help of drop commands, the drop keywords, it's allow us to remove a column from table. So for example, in the above statement, we added a student underscore section column in a table, and now we want to remove this column from table. That's why we have to use drop keywords with alter tables command, and this student underscore section is the column name. If you want to remove one or two or more than two columns in at same time, then we can provide another column name in comma separated values. And the third is alter table modify. So for example, last time if you remember we had one concern. So we given name of that column, student name, and length was 15, and we want to change to make it 25 or 1000, 2000 something. That's why we have modify keywords with alter table. So the script or command is something like alter table, table name, modify is the keyword, it will be fixed values, and the column name, and what's data, new data type we want to align. So we want to align varchar 2 with 25 characters. Here we missed 2, so we have to add 2 also. And the next command is truncate. Truncate command is we are using truncate command to delete all the records from database table, or we can say like if we don't want any records available in the table, we can use truncate command. Truncate command will remove all the data from a student table in a single hit. It will not delete one by one, it will remove all the data available in this table in a single hit only. And here is the syntax for that truncate table. These are the keywords, and this is a table name. And the last we have drop table. Drop command is also DDL commands, and we are using drop commands to remove the structure of table. So suppose we create a table and we don't want that table right now anymore. Like we don't want to be the table available in our database. So we will use drop table commands. Drop table commands will help us to remove the table from database structure. So all these are the DDL commands we get to know in upcoming session. We will learn about DML commands, and then we'll go for rollback and the commit changes. Then we'll go for the constant and also one by one we will go. So let's move to that command one by one. So we already done with create command. So again, let me show you. This is the create command. With the help of this create command, we are going to, let me open new sheet. So with the help of this create command, we are going to create table. So this table having all these 6 columns, and if I will click here hit, it will create one table. But if you will see, we got an error that name is already used by an existing object. It means that this student underscore table is already there in database. We cannot use same name for two different objects or two different tables. So what we have to give any other name. So I will give instead of table, I will give name as T. So now our table name will be a student underscore T, and this table will have all this column. Now if we will execute this query, it will table a student underscore T created. It will execute the query and it will create a table in database. Now here we are done with create keywords. Now we have to go for alter. So alter, I told you alter is going to help us to add another column in table, remove the column from table, or we want to change the column type in the table. So we can use alter command. So here let me insert a few records so that later on we can check that we can check the delete and solve. So suppose this is our insert command. So this one, if I will execute this one record is inserted, I will just copy the same, insert another record, and I will give the ID as 2, name will be Bob, something like that, and let me make as 10, 5, or something like that. Now we want to insert another row. So another row inserted in database table. Now if you want to see the table, so here we have option to use select command, select a star from this table, right? So now if I will execute, we will be able to see all the columns with the data available in this table. So we have all this column. Now we want to add another column name as section. So how we will do? That's why we have alter commands. That alter commands, the table name, add will help us to use to add the columns in the table. So I will use the same alter table. This is our table name and add is our keywords and we want to add columns, right? The syntax is column and the data type. So I want to add column name as section and data type will be varchar 2 and 10. So now if I will hit this new column section with data type varchar 2 10 will be added in our student TBL table. So let me execute this query. You can see table student TBL altered. Now if you will go and do the select a star from the table, you will be able to see the section column. But we don't have any value in this section column, right? Because we just added the column, we don't have any values for that. And here if you will see, if we will go and we'll try to insert the record here, it will throw an error. It will throw an error as same as, because it will say that column mismatch. So when I will go for DML commands, I will let you know all the procedures, all the types of insert which we can use, all the different way to use insert. So now you can see that this alter command, alter table command we are using to add additional column in this table, right? Now same alter command can be used to remove the column from table. So for example, we want to remove this student class table. So what we will do, alter table name, add, instead of add we will use drop, drop, and here we have to provide the column name. So we have to provide the column in bracket. And which column name we want to drop? We want to drop column name as student underscore class. So this is the column name. So now if we will hit enter, this specific column will be removed from this table. So now if we will go and execute this select statement again, you will not be able to find the class column. If you want to delete this section and student con contact both together, what we can do? So here this is our student contact. So here I will copy the same code again. So this is contact. I want to delete this contact and I want to delete the newly added column, that is section. So now you can see if we want to delete one or more column in a single hit, we have to provide the all columns in comma separated. So now here I will execute this one. You can see table student altered, and if you will go and do select a star from table, you will be able to see that the student contact and sections both are removed. Now both are not available in our data table. Now here you can see our Alex, the student name table column we created and we given the size as varchar 215. And if we want to add additional values, right, add extra, change the data type of this name or something, we can do. How we can do? That's why we have another alter commands, table name, and here instead of drop, we have to use modify. Modify will allow us to update the column structure. And here we have to provide the column name and the new data type. For example, the column roll number having the number data type, and instead of number we want to change this roll number as varchar 2. So what we can do? So here we will do alter table student name drop, we will use modify, and here we will use column name and the data type. So I want to make this roll number as varchar 200. Now enter. Okay, so here we got one error, and this error is, if you will try to read this error message, it's clearly saying that column to be modified must be empty to change data type. So if we want to change the data type of this column should be empty. But right now this column is not empty. If you will see this column having the value. That's why they didn't allow to change the data type of this column. Because for example, if the column having any other values and if we want to change the data type, it can create problem, right? That's why they didn't allow to change the type of column if we have any values available in this column. So if we want to do the, so what we have to do, we have to just create a table by taking copy of this one, taking copy of all these things, and then we will remove, we will update the column type, and then we will insert all the records which already taken backup inside this table. So that kind of things we can do. It's an advanced, we'll go in upcoming session. So what we can do, so let me add one column, that is a student class here. So I will use a student class as varchar 2, click enter. So table altered, and if you will select query, you can see student class is added here. You can say student class is added and the value is null right now. So now if we want to change this as student class from varchar to number, and if you want to enter, you can say table student altered, right? It means that now a student table column having the data type as number. So these all are the commands we are going to use. Now next command is truncate command. Truncate command is going to remove all the data available in the table in a single hit only. So for example, this is our table. This table having two records right now. We want to delete all these two records in a single hit only at a time. So that's why we will use truncate command. Truncate table name. Now you have to click here. So once you will execute this query will help us to remove all the data from this student DDL table. Now if we will go and execute this select statement, we will not be able to find any column here. That's the benefit of truncate command. And if we run truncate, we will not be able to roll back the changes. If we want to roll back, so here this is rollback, and if we want to do rollback, right? rollback, and again if you want to go to select data, it will not return data because when we executed this truncate command and it is DDL, it's all automatically permanently save into database, that all the data removed from table, and now table structure is saved. It means that we don't have any data in the table. That's why this rollback didn't work. I will show you this rollback features once we will go for DML operation. So now you got to know about the truncate keywords, that how truncate is working. Truncate is going to remove all the column the table data in a single edge without any validations, without any check. Now here if we will be able to see query, we are able to see columns, but we don't have any values because all columns doesn't have any values. Now we have next command is drop table. Drop table is going to use for deleting the table from a schema. If we want to delete the table from database, we can go for drop table. So here you can see, if we will use drop table or table name, if we will execute this query, this table will be dropped from database. It means this table will be deleted from database. Truncate is going to delete all the records from database table. Drop is going to delete table from database. So if I will execute this query, you can see table student drop. Now if we will go and search this table, right, we will try to find the data from this table, it will throw an error mentioning that we don't have this table available. So here you can see what error we are getting: table or view does not exist. It means that this table is not exist in our database. Why? Because we already dropped this table. So for example, here I am going to create this table again. So now T1 table is created, and now if we will query this table, we will be able to see the table, right? This table is available, right? And when we will use drop with this table name, this table will be dropped or deleted from database. The table is dropped, and now if we will go for select queries, we will not be able to see the data, see the table available. So that's the differences between all these commands. All these commands are DDL commands. It's already auto committed. So this is for today's session only. In next session, we will go for DML and DCL. That command we will complete in next session. And in the second session, we will go for constraint in SQL. So if you all have any issues, any questions, and you want to ask, platform is open for you. Feel free to ask new queries.